Hi there, my name is Dr. Angel Kreitz. I'm president of New Covenant University, and we're talking tonight about the 12 seasons of a leader. The 12 seasons of a leader. We have books available. They're simply notes, booklets of notes that you can print out yourself. If you'd like a soft copy, you can go on my website at ncu.education and make a $5 donation. And we will shoot this over to you, but it's free to listen and take your own notes, so no worries about that. If you would like a copy of the notes mailed to you, that's a $10 donation. We use all proceeds to help fund our up-and-coming Christian leaders in the fields of ministry, entrepreneurship, education, and counseling. So if you are interested in learning more about those things, visit our website at ncu.education, spelled all the way out. That's ncu.education, ncu.education. Okay, so we're going to talk tonight about the 12 seasons of a leader. Yes, there are 4 seasons in a year, but a leader has 12 seasons, and they ebb and flow through those quite quickly and differently. There are 12 seasons of life that we all flow through. Life moves through seasons. I'm going through one right now. You're going through one right now. Everyone is always moving in a season. Nothing lasts forever. You're either moving in a season, you're coming out of a season, or you're in between 2 seasons. In Ecclesiastes, the Bible says in chapter 3, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love, and yes, it's in the Bible, and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Everything under the sun has its season." We go through 12, and I want to start by talking about the first one. The first one is agitation. Agitation. I know that when we go through this season, we are quite unbearable to live with. Everyone does go through this. Agitation, what is it? It's discomfort. You're just uncomfortable. You're not satisfied with anything. You're tired of the status quo. You're tired of the way things are. You are absolutely exhausted of how things are, as a matter of fact, and you become irritated by things easily. I know at least 2 friends who I would not dare tell them this right now, but I know at least 2 friends who are going through this very season of agitation. Oh, we go through this, and nothing really has to be wrong, but all of a sudden you have the desire to move on, to move forward. You know, as soon as you recognize that you're in this season, please try to move forward from it. As soon as you recognize it, move. Move. That's your time to move. That's your time to shift. I am uncomfortable with this. That's why someone told me, or people tell me all the time, they're like, you know, I'm just so upset. I can't stand my job. I can't deal with it. I've been like this for about a month. I don't like anything I'm doing. I'm like, move, change, shift. Why? Because in this season of agitation, this is where people self-sabotage. That's why you want to shift. Think of it this way. I'm in education, and because I'm in education, I recognize the seasons of students. See, students go through this too. And every, I don't know, I guess about February, March of everyone's 12th grade year, they catch what you call senior spring. Miss Tanya knows what I'm talking about. Senior spring. Man, they are so tired of school. They are so done. They're so over it. And what happens to a lot of them? They start skipping. They've held a 4.0 this whole time. They start going to parties. They're like, we don't care. We know where we're going to college. And they make really bad decisions. I remember sitting down with my daughter, recognizing that in her, and I said, look, you have senior spring real bad, real bad, real bad. Do not mess this up. You're tired. I get it. Keep going. You know, most people, most shipwreck victims, just so you know, statistically speaking, shipwreck victims, 80% of the people who die in shipwrecks that make it to the land, they drown in 6 inches of water because they're so tired, they collapse there on the beach and they don't account for the tide coming in. I didn't know that. When the tide comes in, they're so exhausted, they don't move, they don't wake up, and they drown in that little bit of water covering their face. When you are in the season of agitation, look for ways that you can shift quickly. Number 2, investigation. This is like right on the cusp of agitation. Investigation is when you begin to question things and you research your options. You say, what can I do? You start to think outside the box to obtain your goals. You need something different, but you can't quite figure it out yet. You can't quite figure out what it is, so you're constantly researching, you're constantly investigating. Pray in this time, in this season, for creative ideas and listen for God's voice. You know, God created your imagination for a reason. He wants you to be creative. God gave you the power to obtain wealth. He did that through creativity. Imaginative thoughts come from God. Imaginative thoughts come from God. You know, I don't know why there's a Disney World. I really don't, but I have to believe that imaginative thought had to have been heavenly. Like it because of its faults, or love it because you think it's great. Either way, it has inspired hundreds of millions of people over the decades that it has been around to do great things. Back in the day, when part of my leadership training included Disney, the 2 things that they had down better than anyone else back in the day, not now, was honor and order. Honor and order. All that creativity comes from God. Number 3, there's a season of revelation. which makes sense because you're agitated, you start investigating, and then you have your aha moment. Your eyes are open and you catch the vision. Most try to manifest or talk about their revelation at this stage. Do not do that. You will Tim Allen it. You will explain it wrong. This is not the stage anyway to reveal your thoughts to others yet. Number 4, separation. Separation. You know, we always think of separation as being such a hard thing or being a bad thing, a negative. It's not negative. Not everyone is supposed to go with you everywhere through all seasons of your life. They're just not. Part with past people, places, and problems. Part with past people, places, and problems. When you refuse to part with your past, that becomes a stronghold in your life. I just listened to a sermon about strongholds. And it was very good. And it occurred to me that people who refuse to let go of what's happened to them in the past, and it affects their future, that's a stronghold. When people hang on to the same people that has caused them to think in ways that keep them in their past, that is a stronghold. Let go of those things. The Bible said God makes all things new. He makes you new every day. You aren't the same person that you were yesterday. And tomorrow you're going to be an even different person. If my 20-year-old self could see my 50-year-old self, she would be like, what? What? She'd probably also be like, I'm gonna work out more, girl. But I digress. Who is 50? I am 50. You're very sweet. No, ma'am. You don't believe me. Okay. Your revelation will cause you to think differently than you used to every time. You will not think the same as you did. As Dr. Kreitz used to always say, he wrote 13 books, and he said, man, when I wrote that book, I really believed that. I believed that for like 10 years. And he was like, thank God for selling out and being able to change it and reprint it. The friends you have up until now were friends with the one who thinks the way they do before the revelation. Okay, that's you. When you were the friends you have up until now were friends with the one who thinks the way they do before your revelation. Does that make sense? My daughter used to think, she don't know about this, she don't know about that, until I built a pool in my home and I started inviting all her friends over. Then I knew. You think like your friends. You want to get to know your kids? Invite their friends over and talk to them. Be their best pal. Give them pizza. Give them soda. Sugar them all up. Make them talk. And that's the same with your friends. Your friends think the way you do until you had a revelation. Those friends cannot always go with you into your new season. You will become uncomfortable going into the places you used to go into. And sometimes that looks like a positive. I know we don't ever talk about this. I know we don't ever talk about this, but sometimes you outgrow the teachings in your church.
Yes.
And
Yes. That's good, Dr. Angel. That is so true.
yeah.
I can tell you from experience, right? The church that I grew up in, like in a Pentecostal church, and like they used to like the church when you talk about they just have church service, and when they call you on the spot, we'll have this person do this today. You won't even know nothing about it. They call you off the spot. They allow you to read the scripture. They ain't telling you nothing. They just like everything on the fly. No practice for music. None of that.
Yeah.
None of that they used to have. So, and then when I left and I went into a different ministry where I was learning structure and all of these other things, when I went back, it looked so like it was like I was going out of my mind, like to see how things is happening. So I realized you do outgrow a lot of things, and it bugs you. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, I understand where you come from.
Now,
this is good.
That is good. But listen to me, those of you who are coming to this university in order to have full-time ministries, understand that sometimes people will outgrow your ministry. And it's important to take care of those folks and to send them. Send them. I knew a ministry who had a very faithful couple in their church. And for 12 years, they said to the pastor, "We love you. We agree with you. We love your preaching. We love your ministry. We love everything about you. But God has called us into the ministry. Will you ordain me?" For 12 years, they asked that. But what happened with the Christian leader? They were over familiar with their member. What is familiarity? Looking more at the negative than the positive. That Christian leader refused to ordain that person. So that person said, "You know what? I understand. I have to listen to the voice of God. I've given you 12 years. I have to listen to the voice of God. I've got to go. I've got to start my own ministry." And it split the church. Now, I know this person personally. He did not call and invite people to come. He, in fact, did not. He asked me. I said, number one, you can't start a church in the same city. Number two, you can't start it until you've been out of that ministry for a year. But because they knew that there was a dishonor there, it split the church. Don't fall into that. Dr. Kreitz and I, as soon as we saw people growing, as soon as we saw them growing, we immediately started grooming them. Hey, we want you to speak this Sunday. We want you to teach the Bible the Bible study this Wednesday. The Bible says make disciples. Doesn't say make congregants. Make people capable of going into all the earth. Grow them up. Don't have fat babies at your church. Fun fact about Dr. Angel, she loved Amy Grant. Anyway, I digress. It's okay if people outgrow your church. Support that. Oh, okay, gosh.
Sorry, Dr. Angel, can
Yes.
I ask a bit of a question? I don't want to interrupt too much because I know you want to get off. But I have I have outgrown the teaching in several churches. And I went through seasons of thinking, surely I can't. They've been ministering for X number of years. I've only been a minister for this. Clearly, I'm being prideful. I'm being big-headed. How do you discern, or how do you stop having those feelings of I'm being prideful, I'm being big-headed? How could I outgrow the teaching, even though you know you have? Does that make any sense?
I do. And I want to set your mind free in saying this. When someone has been in ministry for decades and decades and decades and long term, and you look at them, you think to yourself, why aren't they teaching deeper things? That's our temptation as humans, okay? But here's what I'm telling you. God calls us for a specific thing to a specific people. Can I teach deeper things than I knew 15 years ago? Absolutely I can. But God has called me to teach leadership, and in my opinion, rudimentary leadership to people who don't know it. But I've been in it so long, to me, it is simple. But to other people, it's revelatory. So I have to stay here, which is why I'm so glad I'm a college, because then I get to say, hey, you're graduated. Go on to deeper things. This is my calling. Now, do I learn from people who teach deeper things? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are things that I know that I don't teach. There are things that I know that God hasn't put in my mouth to teach. So be set free in that. It's not the minister that you're feeling. It's just their teaching. God has them there for a reason. Now you've graduated from there, not from him or her. You've graduated from there. Good. Okay. You're welcome, Miss Lynn. Oh gosh, this is such a good class. All right. Okay, so I said you will become uncomfortable going into places you used to go to, and then we use church as an example, but sometimes the example could be, you went to a certain hangout, you went to certain people's houses, and now you don't feel comfortable with that. Maybe you were a big gamer, maybe you went to the park to play Pokemon, whatever it is, you're not going to be comfortable in the same places you used to be. It's a divine disconnection where God is moving you into something new. He's moving you into something new. He's not moving you because of the person. He's moving you because of the place. You can be very honoring. I'm very honoring toward my Sunday school teacher. But I had to graduate from there. But she led me to the Lord when I was 5. So I'll always be honoring to her. You can be honoring to people in your past, but you have to keep moving until God says, this is where you go. It will just happen. This is when you have to let go. You have to let go. Stubbornness must fall away from you. You can't be stubborn in this. You have to be willing to go. You can't just be Elijah and get stuck under a tree. Is that him? No, that wasn't Elijah. Was that him? Now my mind's gone blank. Ezekiel he was like, why am I here? Why can't I stay by the brook under this tree? Why'd you make it die? That's him. Old Ezekiel.
That's Elijah.
That is Elijah? No, I don't think so. I don't know. One of those Old Testament prophets.
Are you talking about 1 Kings 17?
He dried up the brook of Cherith and the ravens.
And he had to walk 80 miles to the widow of Zarephath.
Yep.
Don't worry, we'll point you in the right direction.
I'm sorry. You guys, sometimes my mind goes blank. Whoo, sorry. All right, 5. The 5th season. Okay? Dorothy Walker, I am so happy to see you, lady. Hope things are going well. And Bishop Ellis's church. Bishop Ellis's church. So excited to see you. Preparation. No, I'm sorry. Number 5, consecration. Consecration is where purification, refinement, decontamination thinking happens. It's when your brain gets rewired. You are in a constant state of truth being revealed to you. Kind of a painful place. You are understanding your identity on a higher level. Well, this is how I've been acting, but this is not who I am. I got to cut that out right away. Identity doesn't change, but your understanding of it does increase through your lifetime. It's kind of like one of those, you know, like, it's kind of like your cell phone, right? Like you have no idea all the features that are on it when you first get it. I work with people. I just came from visiting 2 people who were in their 60s and they're like, well, we just call and text. I'm like, yeah, but did you know there's a GPS on your phone? What? Yeah, you don't have to have 2 separate devices. You can have one device that does GPS too. Are you kidding? Their understanding of what the cell phone was increased. Then I was like, hey, check this out, y'all. Check it out. You can watch my videos on YouTube with your cell phone. What? They were amazed. That's how it is when you realize who you are really. You get comfortable with yourself. You start appreciating who God made you more. You are more confident because you are more aware of what God is capable of doing through you, and you give him more permission to work through you. Number 6, preparation. That's what you guys are doing. Preparation. You are in training. You're laying the groundwork. You're doing your homework. When you know who you are, you're not concerned about impressing anyone. Your focus shifts. You know who God is, and you know who you are in him. You cannot do this season alone. Don't try it. When you're in a season of preparation, do not isolate. Reach out. Because you have to be trained, discipled, disciplined, and mentored. You cannot take the same attitude that you had as a CSR to the administrative office of a company. You cannot take the same thought processes that you had as a teacher's aide into the school board office. You have to be disciplined to think differently. You have to be discipled to be shown. And you have to be mentored by people who are already there so that your life can be easier. You do not want to make a mistake if you can avoid it. Mistakes are costly. Your focus must be solid in preparation. Yes, ma'am?
I think you said four things. Trained, discipled.
Mm-hmm.
And what were the other 2?
Disciplined and mentored.
Disciplined. Thank you, Dr. Angel.
Your focus has to be solid during this time. The way to destroy a person's destiny is simply to divert their focus. They do it in football. They do it in war. You divert your enemy's focus. How do you destroy someone's destiny? Give them 2 things to think about. Stay focused. 7, presentation. A season of presentation. This is where you tell everybody. You are the product. God has repackaged you. God is smoothing out your rough edges. This can be a painful time as you let go of certain behaviors and attitudes you've grown comfortable with. Like you may have grown very comfortable with saying whatever you want to say whenever you want to say it. And now you can't. You got to say what God says to say. You may be very comfortable with showing up in your sweatpants and sports bra somewhere. But you can't live a Walmart style in a Macy's environment. When God decides to present you, that's when he reveals you. Number 8, examination. Examination was the hardest one for me. It still is. You are very public and you are very vulnerable. How many of you Gen Xers were so happy? You were so happy that there was no social media when you were a teenager. Tons of nods going up. Let me tell you, I was so happy because I was stupid as they come. I think a lot of us were. But you still have social media now, and people still examine you now. I mean, thank God for our maturity level, but it still happens. During this examination season, you will be gossiped about, you will be criticized, and you will be accused. Glad it is them and not me. I'm talking about us right now, sir. All of those things will happen to you. Kingdom leaders know how to avoid apology. They know how to avoid venting, and they know how to avoid emotionalism at this time. Do not begin to speak on the things that have hurt you during this season. You are going to be tempted to do that. I have seen so many pastors preach a whole sermon on what is hurting them. Don't fall into that. Stay focused on the voice of God. Don't feel you are less than simply because people criticize you. Never accept a criticism from someone who is not invested in you. Don't do it. If you don't know them, you don't receive that criticism and you do not make an apology. If someone who has invested their love, their care, their time, their resources into you comes to you and says, man, you're wrong, do not do what a lot of people do, get all defensive and angry with the person that loves you, you receive that correction. Why is it we don't want to receive correction from the people that we know the best, who live with us, who are around us 100% of the time? But then we get all bent out of shape and say, maybe I need to apologize. Maybe I need to do something whenever someone we don't know criticizes us. Unacceptable. We need to change that. Normalize listening to your spouse.
Hey, Doc, you preaching, man. You preaching, man. You preaching.
Thank you.
That's good.
Normalize that. Your spouse is not out to get you. Your best friend is not out to get you. Your pastor is not out to get you. They have your interest at heart. Listen to them. Listen. They'll save you a lot of pain. Oh, what else? Where am I? Okay. Examination. Here we go. Your concern is not pleasing people. Your concern is to please God. Remember, people will misunderstand you. Remember that during this time in examination, you have to keep that at the forefront of your mind. Your concern can never be to please them. Can't. You got to please God only. Becoming swallowed up in this will cause you to become fearful, and your destiny will stop. People will give their opinions, but it's you who has the vision and must carry the vision. Don't stop no matter what. You make a mistake, don't stop. Someone hurts you, don't stop. You get 50 emails of criticism, don't stop. Number 9, manifestation. If you can push through examination, you get to manifestation. Nothing like it. Manifestation is a visible sign. It's your faith materializing. The fire of examination lifts, and people who your purpose is for find you, and the ones who will not receive from you will dwindle. Those people will begin to notice the favor of God on your life. This is the most important time that you have to lift your head and look around, because you have to recognize those who are here with you in this season. You have to recognize those who are here with you in this season. Do not make fast friends here. A lot of people who are newbie friends during this season, the ones who are new, are opportunists. This is the season you go back, you reconnect with your longtime friends. The ones who are with you, who are like, we support your purpose. Not those ones who didn't believe in you. We let those go, remember? But the ones who are still with you through this season, that's when you tighten that friendship. Let's be strategic about this thing. Let's make the seasons work for us. Reel those folks in tighter. Start showing how grateful you are. Start honoring them more. Because your next season is acceleration. And that one, my friend, will make your head spin. Everything's moving so fast. You're juggling all these plates. Acceleration is marked by momentum and force. You're busier than a one-armed paper hanger. It's crazy. This has everything to do with your confidence in God and you walking in repeated obedience. Favor follows the obedient. Blessings flow through obedience. That's why there are principles in the Bible. People think principles lead to salvation. No, principles do not lead to salvation. Do you know what led to salvation? The blood of Christ, the sacrifice he made. That's how we got salvation. What did the principles lead to? A victorious life here on earth. There is a lot of grace during this period, but you must keep up with the growth. If you don't, you'll lose momentum. Number 11, celebration. Celebration. Your struggle is rewarded. This is when you can have a party. People who have been blessed by God through you will begin to celebrate with you. It's what every graduation is about for me. I mean, I know it's your graduation, whatever. That's cool. You accomplished something, yay. But I'm partying. So I'm excited for you. You guys are happy for one. I'm happy for all y'all. That is a great joy for me. That is seeing the harvest of what God did through me. And that's how each one of us up on that stage feel. Celebration is when you feel a sense of accomplishment, and that accomplishment will carry you back to momentum, and you will be able to operate at that level long term. And number 12, the 12th season is recognition. Recognition. Recognition is important because honor is kingdom currency. Indeed, as we've mentioned several times before in this very teaching, giving others the opportunity to honor you brings light to God instead of you. Bet you didn't think about it that way, did you? When we have a Pastor Appreciation Day, I promise you, I'm not appreciating that pastor. I'm thanking God and I'm grateful for putting him in the pulpit because he lets God use him. I honor God for people's place in my life. And that's what people are doing with you. When people honor you, it is the thing that God has done through you that they honor. Don't get all in your head. Don't be like, I don't deserve that. I don't believe in that. Yeah, we should give God the glory for everything, including the people that he puts in our lives. Imagine if I gave my daughter a car, brand new, the car she wanted. Say she wanted a Kia Soul because it looked cool. And we put little checkered details on it, got her checkered carpet, put a bow on it. Gave it to her, put the keys in her hand. A year later, I go back. It's never been washed. It's never been cleaned. It smells bad. Oil's never been changed, so it makes noise. Is she dishonoring the car or is she dishonoring me? Will I be more likely or less likely to get her another car? The way you honor people in your world gets God's attention. And that's all I have to say about that. Does anyone have any questions concerning this teaching? No, ma'am. It is 8:20. I'm not going to have time for the other teaching. That's okay. I'm going to sign off from Facebook real quick. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you. If you are interested in more teachings like this, visit us at ncu.education. That's ncu.education, spelled all the way out. And if you would like to have more information about the college or about classes, please go on ahead and text me or WhatsApp me at 615-948-2212. Text me or WhatsApp me at 615-948-2212. I very much appreciate you coming on tonight. Pastor Tim Kellogg, thank you as always for watching tonight. You are a great encouragement in my life. I hope you guys have a great night. Love you much. I'll be praying for you.